So this question is for Miss Leslie. How have you adapted to the pandemic? Because a lot of things have changed, and we're just going into a unique, uncanny situation right now.
This is true. Of course, last year we did it virtually because, basically all the theaters were closed, due to safety issues, which, especially in Los Angeles, which was a very smart choice on the forms of the different, both the governments and the establishments, working together to keep everything safe. But for this year, we decided that we really wanted to do it in person, which is why our dates are normally in the middle of June. And that's one of the reasons why we decided to push it back to this end of August, over September 4th or September 12th dates, was because we were very concerned about the safety. And we felt that with the vaccination rollouts, that there would be better, precautions in place. And so we're limiting our seating. We're in the largest house that's at the Chinese Sixplex, which is 450-ish seats, but we're limiting the seats to like 300 or 320. So there should be plenty of room to be able to spread out, even if we have a what would be considered a sold-out crowd for us.
And so, tell me a little bit what inspired you to start this film festival? Both of y'all.
Well, I'm going to let Leslie take that one away. I do want to add one thing to what Leslie said, though, about the precautions that we're taking. What she said about the seating, but, even for the Q&As and everything that we do with the filmmakers after the screenings, which, are really important for the filmmakers to be able to talk about their film. We're limiting who comes up. The microphones are all sterilized with disposable covers on them. We're just like to the utmost doing, every safety measure that we possibly can.
Yeah, that's exactly true. I mean, it's one of those things where, we're waiting to see if there's a mandate of like actually having to check for vaccination cards and things like that. But at the moment that isn't there, but I do know that we are considering doing that. So we're kind of we're trying to proceed as cautiously as we can, while also looking at what the CDC is saying and what the theater is saying. So there's a lot of different entities that are weighing in on it.
Okay. So we'll
I'm sorry. Back to why it was inspired. Sorry.
Oh yes, ma'am. No worries. No worries.
Let's go back to inspiration. So what happened was in 1996, that seems so long ago now, that was the days of when El Mariachi came out, Robert Rodriguez's film, Reservoir Dogs had come out with Tarantino, and you had Brothers McMullen with, I can't think of his name, but a lot of people were breaking through with Swingers, Vince Vaughn and all of that. And so Michael Trent, the other co-founder, and myself, we decided that we had done theater and things together, and we decided that we would do a film. And so we did just like so many people did at the time. We borrowed and begged for all sorts of different things and wrote a film and got a 16 millimeter camera and trudged up to Oregon to, my home, where we created this big, huge, Ransom Gone Wrong, film. And then we couldn't get it into any of the festivals that we wanted to get into, which was the industry ones. And so we looked at each other and went, well, we need to do a screening in Los Angeles. And Michael had this great idea. He goes, if we did a great film, and there's probably a lot of other people who don't have known stars in their films, and they are in the same boat as us. So why don't we see what we can do about banding together? And we ran it past a couple of different publicists and people, and I said, if they think it's a good idea, I guess we'll do it. But otherwise, we're just going to do a screening. And to my chagrin, everybody was like, that's a fabulous idea. And so here we are, cut to 24 years later, we're still doing it, still 100% dedicated to the indie scene of, breakthrough people, not having star-studded, pet projects of, not that we dislike Ben Affleck or, Tom Cruise or any of those people. Trust me, I would do a film with any of them. But, we wanted a place where filmmakers who were really striving to put towards their vision and may or may not have those connections could have a place to be on a level playing field and get the industry in to see them the way a film should be seen, on the big screen, looking beautiful, in one of the most highly calibrated, theaters in Los Angeles. And it's really been the filmmakers that have kept us going every year, because the excitement and the thrill of seeing them have an audience and, have it, like Jackie was saying, the Q&As that we do after every single film with at least one filmmaker from the film, and finding out about their story and why they did it. And it's become a really fascinating, wonderful thing that we do. And we all do it as a labor of love, don't we, Jackie?
Yes. Yes. And to actually put that in a nutshell, basically what they did and what they said is, damn, we can't get our little indie film into a film festival, so let's have our own. And then, Leslie, I'm surprised you guys didn't say, and we didn't win an Academy Award, so let's give ourselves an Academy Award.
Maybe we should do that for our 25th year. Maybe Michael and I get honorary Academy Awards, and then we'll sell it with a Mard or something, so that we don't get in trouble with the Oscars.
Yeah, there you go. But the truth of the matter is, over the 24 years, and every year, by the way, at the closing night party, Leslie jokingly drops the mic and says, "This is my last year. I'm out." For 24 years, because they didn't really think that it was going to turn into this, but the festival has grown so much over the years to where we are now. Leslie, I can't imagine that you envisioned this when you started.
No, not at all. In fact, I remember somebody in the very first year, it was a New York film, and so there wasn't a whole lot of people in the theater, and a very, very big, I won't put a name to it, producer's rep comes in and says, "You need to go give away free tickets on 3rd Street." We were at Santa Monica at that time, at the Santa Monica Lemleys, and it was like, "You need to go give away tickets." And I looked at him and I pulled my pockets inside out and I said, "With what money am I supposed to go give tickets away?" and he was like, because it was like, dude, you buy 20 tickets yourself and go hand them out if that's what you're saying. But I want people who want to be at the films, not just some random person who went, "Oh, free ticket, I'll go see this,"
So, what does
it's really become it's really become a place where there's a truth to that, where film lovers and people who want to discover new filmmakers and new visions, and see new messages, not the stuff that's that the studios are churning out. It's really become a place for people like that who are truly interested in what's new, and hearing and meeting the filmmakers. Even if it's going to be this year 6 feet apart, they get to hear from them directly rather than some behind the scenes cut stuff from whatever they did. You know what I mean? It's really much more personal.
And Leslie, what words of encouragement could you give future filmmakers during this weird time? Because everything is a little bit different, just how you organize a film festival, or either just trying to get your films out there. So what advice could you give some of these up-and-coming film directors and producers?
Just do it. It's really that simple. It's just do it. You write some good material. Whether you convince somebody who's a cinematographer, or if you're a cinematographer, grab a camera, rent one at PRG that is a great sponsor of ours, or, go buy it at Best Buy and then return it in 3 weeks.
Don't tell him that.
It's really about just doing it. Just doing it. And, go ahead.
You do know that that's a very, very famous Nike slogan. I actually have a vintage Nike shirt that says, "Just do it."
I do, and I'm from Oregon, so because Nike was started by Phil Knight.
What encouraging words can you give people in general about overcoming adversities, obstacles, and just trying to move forward in whatever they're trying to do in life?
Jackie, you want to take that one?
Yeah. We're launching our first film series at this film festival, and we have producer Michael London and director Paul Greengrass, who are extremely acclaimed in the industry, and they're going to kind of tell about their journey. Everybody starts from somewhere, right? Everyone starts from nothing, and look where they are today. We're so excited to be able to have our filmmakers listen to them and hear about their journey, to give them encouragement and excitement to just keep at it and keep going, And my advice is always about networking. It's so important to network. And actually, at our film festival, and I will say this, because I used to, for my job, travel to, the festivals like, Cannes, and although there are more markets and those types of festivals, and we really push networking, and we have a filmmakers lounge every night, and we have like outings and stuff. It's all about networking, even with our panels and our cocktails and conversations, where they actually get to meet industry people. It's all about that. That's what it's about. So, that's the sort of advice that I could give.
Okay.
And also, just to piggyback on what she's saying, is it's really a matter. A lot of what we talk to when we're selecting who is actually going to participate in the festival, the films that we're going to screen, we actually engage in a conversation prior to selecting them, because we really want to know what their goals are, if they're thinking about the marketing, maybe what their next step is that they're looking at their career, so that we are actually bringing in people who have, an idea of where they want to go. And even if they don't know where they want to go and they say that, that's better than like not responding. We want people who are engaged, and so when Jackie's talking about like networking and everything, it's first just about the content being great, and then it's about how you can, go on with your next step, to your next project. I always tell everybody, when you come to the festival, it's not just about getting distribution for your film. Do you want to get a manager, or do you have another, a web series that you're thinking of that you could, want to pitch to, somebody who comes in for the cocktails and conversations, or the panels, so we really do advocate people, being there and being present, but also in meeting each other. I can't tell you how many films have been created in the lobby of the Chinese Theater or of the Lemleys, where two filmmakers who never had known each other before meet and go, I really liked your work. I really liked your work. And then they go, hey, let's do a film together. And the next thing we know, like 3 years later, we have a film being submitted going, yeah, we thought it up in your lobby.
Now, this is for Miss Leslie. I know planning could be definitely hard. How do you keep your mental health in check, just planning everything out with the festival?
Oh, I just simply have a nervous breakdown and hand it off to Jackie. We're really, especially this year with everything that's gone on, we're really trying to advocate that people take that few minutes to, when they say smell the roses, whether it's roses or coffee or anything like that, it's like, just take a breath, and, we're not curing cancer. We might be showing a documentary about cancer or a narrative film about cancer, but we're not curing it. So keep it all in perspective, and it'll all work out. It always does. And for whatever reason, we just knock on wood. We've had these phenomenal filmmakers. Everybody gathers in, even when I remember one year, very early on, like in the year 5 or 6 or something like that, we had these filmmakers fly in from Sweden, And this was back in the days where we were showing things on a platform called Digibeta. And the one that they had done it in a version we couldn't play. They were doing it in PAL, which is, the European version of what we could play. And every filmmaker, we just reached out to every filmmaker, and one of the filmmakers scrambled, and he had a connection at a dub house that did a complete redub for them for free. And that's kind of the amazing community that we've built, and that's our alumni, and that's what I mean. It's such a great community, and we're so thrilled to be able to have it and be able to keep growing it bigger and bigger.
And
to add to what Leslie said about that, like how does she keep it together? How do we keep it together? We have an amazing team. We really have an amazing crew and an amazing team. And we rely on each other and lean on each other, and that's how we do it.
And my last question for Jackie, what does it mean to you to give opportunities to directors, people that, are just looking for an opportunity to get their foot in the door? What does that mean to you that you can give these opportunities to these type of individuals?
I'm so glad you asked me that question, because it is literally why I do this. Nothing is more gratifying than creating opportunity. First of all, nothing is more gratifying than finding raw talent, finding a diamond in the rough. And nothing is more gratifying than, trying to help them get a foot in the door. My background is from, Leslie was a filmmaker. My background is from the studio world. I worked on the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Talk about like a huge undertaking. But for me, the most gratifying thing is, paying it forward, finding new talent and introducing them to the industry. So it means everything to me. It means everything to me. It's literally why I have been doing this film festival for this long.
Awesome.
It's what excites me the most, I have to say.
And last but not least, where can my viewers actually find information on your festival?
Well, you can go to our website, which is, danceswithfilms.com. That's the easiest way, and we have everything there about different panels that they can attend, all the different screenings, the special events that we have going on, which is with Michael London, Paul Greengrass. So they can do that. They can buy individual tickets, or they can also buy, if they want to experience the whole festival for all 3 weeks at their leisure, there are also festival passes available.
And there you have it, guys. So everybody, you know where y'all can find me. Y'all can find me on my YouTube channel, which is New Stitch Media. Y'all can Google Fago Franklin III, and it shows you all the interviews with your favorite celebrities, festivals, any and every interview that I have done with your favorite celebrities. And you can also check me out on my Instagram, which is superjournalist87, or either follow me on my Facebook, which is Fago Franklin III. Thank you, Leslie and Jackie, for definitely coming on board and tell me a little bit about the festival.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely have a blessed one, and we'll talk soon.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Be well.
Yes, ma'am. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye, Fago.
Bye-bye.